Okay. So, like I said, the network seems to be a problem. I apologize for that. I hope we will continue. I've tried to change the network, and I hope it will be okay now. Anyway, so one of the issues that I was talking about the first issue that I was talking about is I'm talking about the police, and the first issue is about this torture. And I am calling upon those who are responsible to look at the human rights issues, that please take note. The police are brutally beating people. They are beating people. Please, please, please look into this. Our human rights record is very bad from the realistic point of view. From the realistic point of view, in the cells there, it is so bad. And I'm telling you this, I'm not talking about one cell where I have been. No, I'm telling you, I have been in a number of cells. Usually, when I've been arrested and come out, I don't usually discuss what I saw in my cells. But I've seen it in a number of cells where I have been. I was in Lukulu, it is the same situation. Livingston, a number of police custody, we have people that are seriously being beaten. And this is happening because somebody is not watching. Somebody is not paying attention. Go to any of these cells and check Muma cells. You will not fail to find one young man who has been badly brutalized, badly beaten. And these are some of the things that should not be happening, especially when you are talking about a president who beats his chest that is leading this country very well. This should not be happening. At the end of the day, some of you might say, no, but it's the police. President Hakainde Hichilema doesn't know. I want to tell you that the day that Chilufya will be ruling this country, those things will not be happening. Those things will not be happening. They are happening because the leadership that is there is inefficient. The leadership that is there is sleeping on the job. If the leadership that is there is not sleeping on the job, those beatings will not be there. Those beatings will not be there. These beatings are happening because the leadership that is there is sleeping on the job. Because all it takes is those that are charged of that responsibility to visit some of these cells. Even now, Jack Mwimbu, even just now, Jack Mwimbu, leave whatever you are doing. Go, walk into any police station, walk into Kabwata, walk anywhere in the country. You will find people who have been beaten. You will find them who have been beaten. You will find them. Walk in any police station, you will find young people that are being muscles longer than necessary. We have long over detention. We have so many young people, so many people that are languishing muscles. They have been there for a long time. They have been there for a long time. For a long time, I'm talking about months. Muma cells where you say somebody should not be there more than 72 hours. And yet we have them living there for months. For months, Muma cells. This should not happen. It should not happen. It should not happen. Whatever the case, it should not happen. People should be taken to court. But there are a lot of people that are Muma cells and they are not going to court. They are not being taken to court. A lot of them. I'm challenging anyone, especially those of you who are responsible. Those of you who are responsible. Go there and you will see. Hakainde Hichilema, don't just be preoccupied with politics. Don't just be preoccupied with politics. Don't just look at, presidency from the point of view of making business. Making business, talking with the your international friends. Being a president requires you to go down to this. You need to go myself. You need to go Marcels. Even you as a president, myself as a president, the day that I will be president, I can assure you, this will not happen. What is happening in my police meso, it will never happen. The day that I just Chilufya become president, all that nonsense will not happen. It will not happen. I don't need to be there. I don't need to be a police officer. But I'm telling you, it will not happen. It is happening because Hakainde Hichilema is sleeping. Hakainde Hichilema is preoccupied chasing Boma, Navena Malanji, Navena Findley. That's why these things are happening. His mind is somewhere else. He doesn't have a comprehensive outlook of who a president is. These things I'm talking about, beating people, over-detaining people, the back stops on you, Hakainde Hichilema. You are the Inspector General of Police. And for me, I should say, I am lucky. I have encountered Makapokola. I have been myself under different IG regimes. I want to tell you that your regime is the worst. I used to fight. I remember, I fought with that lady. You know, I fought with that woman. I thought she was the worst. Hawe. Kwa isa isakoba nani kaneva mdala baba fuminepo. Mdala twali pika nana bwabo. I thought he was no. This time alana fivola. Na fivola mu police na fivola. Fire nunca no nunca. I'm telling you, encounter the police. You will see how smelly corruption is. You will see how smelly unprofessionalism. You will see how smelly crookedness in the police. You will see it. And I'm saying this, I want to put a caveat that it's not all the police. I'm not saying all the police. There are some good police officers. Very good police officers. Force headquarters, I have a few police officers that I really, appreciate. I appreciate you for your professionalism. I really appreciate you. I don't want to, but because some of you have even told you point blank. But a number of police officers, Alapa centro pale nunca. Alapa centro pale nunca. That officer in charge, balaba officer in charge, katwishinoko bafuma. Katwishinoko mwafuma ba officer in charge imwe katwishoko mwafuma. Because you have young people there, and you are keeping them there. Imama mwana kwa tumasales mienu, it is a rehabilitation center. You have useless cases there. Useless cases that chirenje. Useless cases. Useless cases. Ama tu kwacha. Imama officer in charge. Kuti mulesungo muntu. Because of tu kwacha. Abantu wala kana tu kwacha. Mwayamu nga mma sales muntu aikala 5 days. For what? Ama tu kwacha. Ama 10 kwacha. Even if it's a police office, it is a police that is near the compound. And people in the compound, they talk small amounts. But certainly, that is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. You have that young man. Last time I was arrested, I was taken there. I found him there. This time around, I was taken there. I found him there. Be it that, yes, he is accused of murder. But look. Yeah. Akachifinena kokaliko bad. It's not that by the fact that somebody has been accused of murder, it is not a guarantee or a justification to keep that person months. The job of the police is to quickly investigate that murder case, quickly investigate it and take it to court. That is what is supposed to happen. So you get the comfort that this one is accused of murder. He killed a wife. He killed a mother. Therefore, you should stay sales. Your job, Wakapokola, be it murder case or whatever it is, armed robbery. Your job is to quickly investigate. After you investigate, you take the people to court. And when you take the people to court, they go kuri mind. They are not supposed to be sales. But you are getting this comfort that ni armed robbery. Ni murder. By the fact you have so many people languishing sales for so long, for months, regardless of their charge, it means that you are not doing a good job. You are not investigating. Because if you are investigating, these people would go to court. And yes, you are not investigating. Your people are not investigating. Hakainde Hichilema, your police are not investigating. You know why they are not investigating? They have become debt collectors. The police department now is a debt collector. They are not interested in following these charges, breaking these cases. They are not interested. They are now interested in cases that involves money. I can guarantee you, I can guarantee you, that sales. I'll tell you, about 95%, the people that has Abalima sales right now, they are related to Kundalama. Kundalama in Congole. I had one man that came in. I left him there. The time I was leaving, it was his third day there. The man was even told to write a check by a police officer. A police officer told him, go and bring a checkbook, and come and write. Pankongole, somebody goes to police, and then the police say, no, this person you need to pay. No, I don't have the money. Go and bring a checkbook, and you write post-dated check. The guy writes post-dated check, police. The post-dated check, by the time it is the time it was due, the police officer goes and deposits the check. The check bounces. He arrests the guy that, no, you bounced the check. Isn't that crookedness? This is happening. These are real cases. Police officers now, instead of investigating cases, they are busy indulging themselves in debt collection. Civil matters, cases that are not supposed to be going to the police. In Congole, it's not a criminal matter. It is not a criminal matter. It's not a police case. And they went to training. They know very well. But because Katushinga I don't understand. The police are not interested in investigating cases. They are interested in money cases. I'm challenging you. Come and arrest me and move my sales. Go my sales. Go pa Central Police. Go and count how many people are there because of criminality. Count them. Count them. People are languishing there. In Congole. Abantu inkongole ngani pala pachirenje pana alipani inkongole ama 10 kwacha ama 2 kwacha esho abantu bale ngira mu sales no, this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. You may not like me, but I'm telling you, these things are real and they are not right. They are not right. Varemika joanami papata alakapokola na isasa na ibola. But like they say, the fish start rotting from the head. For things to get so rotten in the police, it means kumuru na kuwola. That's what it means. Because in katakuwola kumulu, these issues that I'm talking about, they wouldn't be happening in police. They wouldn't be happening. They wouldn't be happening. They wouldn't be happening. It is because starting from the top, things are rotten from the top and going down. Nafiwola, nafisasa. It's really, really bad. It's bad. Because a number of people that are that I found there, ngani muma sales. A number of them that I found muma sales. I mean, a lot of them were UPND. I even found one guy, who stood as a counselor. And this guy was very critical of me. Very critical. To a point that, I mean, the guy was almost punching me. I found him. Tualina nkoma sales. And we became friends. You see? No shadi mwakabamo. A lot of people are suffering. I am calling upon, this is an earnest call on number one, President Hakainde Hichilema, that you are sleeping on the job. Your people who voted for you are suffering at the hands of the police, are being beaten at the hands of the police. The people that voted for you are languishing in cells for long days, but in cells. The police that are supposed to be investigating crime, they are busy indulging in debt collection. A job which is not theirs, but that is what they are doing. Can you wake up and sort out that mess? Sort out that mess. I'm starting with you. Because you are the one that appoints the IG. If fire him. Bring in another person who can do the job. You can even ask me, because so I even know some of the good police officers who can do a good job, who can do a better job. But otherwise, this leadership of this police is terrible. It's terrible. There is that deputy IG. I think she's co-administration. She's a former lawyer. She was a lawyer. I know she's not in operation, but please, Napapata. These are Zambians. These are human beings. And I'm not saying this at Kute Mafia Kulanda. I'm in the comfort of my house. I'm speaking for those people that are there, even right now as I'm speaking. Please attend to this. Moving there, because of the cases, some of the useless cases that are happening, Muma police, we also have congestion, Muchimbokaila, Namu Kamwala, Kamwala prison. We have congestion there. Kamwala, I'm telling you, it is worse than Sobibo. It is worse than Sobibo. I feel bad to be a Zambian at the moment. I feel bad to be a Zambian at the moment. Because in Zambia, we have the worst custody facilities. I don't think there is anywhere in the world. Zambia should be the last one. I'm telling you, Zambia is the last one. It's the worst in the world. I'm declaring Zambia as the worst, prison facilities, these custody facilities. I'm declaring it worst. I'm declaring Kamwala as the worst in the world. I don't think there is anywhere where you can find that kind of nonsense. Not even in the Middle East can you find what you find at Kamwala and Chimbokaila. You can't find it. People sleep standing. If in India, as I'm talking right now, people are lined up, packed up. Amasaka ya vunga na mataba, panshi. People are packed up like this. 3 rows like this. Packed up like this, standing. They sit one after the other, put here. And there is a guy that is beating them to squeeze them to sit. To squeeze them to sit. And the place is hot. It's really hot. They have taken off their shirts and they are sweating and they are squeezed together. It is not acceptable. It is inhuman. It is inhuman. It's just, you can't, Nampapate, you can't keep people like that. In this modern age, you can't keep people like that. I was saying, the way people are packed up, Muchimbokaila, na Mukamwala, if President Hakainde Hichilema went in one of his folds, went in one of his ranches, and he found his animals squeezed together the way people are squeezed in Kamwala and Chimbokaila. If Hakainde Hichilema went in one of his ranches, and I'm not being sarcastic or anything, I'm just trying to demonstrate, to tell you, to emphasize a point. If Hakainde Hichilema went to one of his ranches where he keeps his animals, and he found those animals squeezed the way people are squeezed right now as I'm talking in Kamwala and Chimbokaila, Hakainde Hichilema would fire all the workers. The people in Kamwala and Chimbokaila, they are living far much worse than animals living at a farm. Far much worse. They are squeezed. So, because you are squeezed in Gawaikala, you are squeezed like this. It's difficult. So some of the young men prefer to stand. I was watching this. The person is sleeping. Standing until morning. Standing. Standing. And people are squeezed. You can't do this. You can't. The toilets are smelly like nobody's business. To walk to go to the toilet, you have to step on others, stepping on others. You go and step Mundo Sham toilet. You go and step on Mundo Sham toilet, Nisu and whatever. And you come back and you walk on others to go and sit in your position. There are those who keep vigil in the night. They also sleep standing. Excuse me. I actually got this flu from Marcel's. It is bad. It is bad. Very, very bad. Very, very. It is inhuman. It is inhuman. I don't have powers. If I have powers, I would not let Kamwala prison. I would not let Kamwala remand prison exist one more minute. If I had powers, one more minute, I would not allow it. One more minute, I would not allow it. And this doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People, it is inhuman. And then from there, talk about that sleeping is bad. Right now, when I'm thinking about it, I'm dreading. I'm feeling bad for my brothers who are sleeping there. I'm feeling very bad. I'm really feeling very bad. But then, leave that aside. Talk about food. Yeah. And ingombe shila liapo wino. That hey, filefia ni filia. Ingombe shila liapo wino ndemieva. Ingombe shila liapo wino. Those people drink water with a few grains of sap swimming in it, beans swimming in it, without salt, without anything. I tasted it, I ate it. It is inhuman, sure. Papa tawa Hakainde Hichilema chalo mule leading, sure. Chalo tefo mfilo kusunga bantu fina papata ingombe shenu shila sungwa povino. If you could chilefa bantu wale ikarama prison. You are busy doing propaganda pa ZNBC. ZNBC was running. Hey, Hakainde Hichilema has changed the what. There is that documentary that has been running on ZNBC. You should stop. Don't be cheated that Hakainde Hichilema has changed things in prison. No, they are worse. They are worse because we have got so many people with petty issues out of hunger. Imwe the isatura ndapati insala. When you go to prison, that's when you realize because people are in there for petty issues. Ama 2 kwacha, ama 10 kwacha, ama 30 kwacha. These are the people that are occupying ama sales yesu. Because of insala. Panko ngole ka 30 kwacha, 20 kwacha, umuntu amtola ku police. Na yena kapokona na yena pali 20 kwacha mpeni pali 50 kwacha. Alefu apoke 50 kwacha aliyepo 20 kwacha. Ushekwena, is that you can say no, our country is doing good? And these things I'm talking about, anyone can come and take me now at tura ya kukamwala, tura ya kuchimboka ila. You will find these things. You can go there, human rights. Go there. Nampapat. Go there. You will see. This is unacceptable. Zambia is the West. I don't think there is anywhere where you can have it worse than this. I've seen prisons in other countries. Even Ethiopia is bad, but you can't compare with what is happening here. Libya, I've seen Libya. You know, those immigrants, those who want to go to Europe. The way they are looked after. Kagame was complaining of how they are. Yeah. Kagame should come and see what is happening here. He should come and see what is happening in Kamwala, in Chimbokaile. He should come and see. You will cry. Not even enemies of the country are looked after the way we are looking after our people. It is sad. It is sad. And this I'm not blaming the correction service. I'm not complaining. The correction service, they never pocket enough. They just receive. The problem is with the police who are arresting people for useless cases. Instead of reconciling people, helping people, they are busy just throwing in cells, sending remand and everything. They are congesting the places. These are the problems. The other problem that we have, it's these so-called immigrations. By immigration, you are a big problem. By immigration, you are a big problem. You are causing a big problem for this country. I know a lot of people are coming into our country, including my brothers and sisters from Ethiopia. There are a lot of them who are coming. I do understand that. Zambia is, a peaceful place, so a lot of people are coming. But the way you are handling issues, no, it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. It's not intelligence. It's not smart. Sorry, excuse me, I have to blow my nose because, I'm sorry, I'm coming just a minute. I tell you, I got this flu from prison, and I'm telling you, I've really struggled to heal from it. Even my Kia got it, and my wife also got it. It has been something else. By immigration, you are creating a problem. But again, this is an issue of governance. This is an issue of government where people... Look, you get these immigrants from all over the country and you bring them Kumakoti, take them Murimand prison and so on and so forth. And of course you would argue to say this is the procedure. This is the procedure. But come on, much as we have these procedures, you should analyze the situations. We are spending so much money and creating a problem because the illegal immigrants, from my assessment, Muma cells, I think they cater for about 40%. 30 to 40%, the illegal immigrants. 30 to 40%, illegal immigrants. Now, we are getting them from all over the places and coming to bring them that side, and we don't have the facilities. And we don't even have money to feed them. We don't even have money to feed them. So, from my point of view, why can't we be making sound decisions, reasonable decisions, that those of Munaikata, kuma borders, instead of bringing them all the way to Lusaka and keeping them in Kamwala, why not just deport them? Why do you have to go through all this process of keeping these illegal immigrants when you don't even have the facilities? You don't have the facilities. That is a fact. You are emphasizing the point of procedure, but you don't have the facilities. Because illegal immigrants, if anything, they are not supposed to be in Kamwala. They are not supposed to be in Kamwala. We don't have the facilities. So since we don't have the facilities, why can't we be intelligent? Why can't we be intelligent? Why can't we be smart to deport these people as soon as possible so that they go back to their countries and so on and so forth? What are we benefiting as a country by keeping those people Mkamwala when we have to feed them? What do we benefit as a country? What do we benefit? They are cooking at Katushinga 30 bags of minimum. Government has to buy food and whatever, and at the end of the day we give very bad food because we don't have the money. But we are spending money. If we have less people, that little money that we have, we would feed the people that are there properly like human beings. But because we have too many people, we are failing to feed them properly. We are failing to feed them properly. So what are we really achieving as a country by keeping these people for a long time when we can quickly deport them back into their countries? We will spend less even on transport than the inconvenience of keeping them when we don't have the facilities, when we are spending so much money to feed them. So what logic is this? You can say this is the issue of governance. Ukutontonkanya. Ngobuteko. Making sound decisions. Not to procedures. Those procedures were made by human beings. Those procedures can be changed overnight. Overnight, you can change those procedures. You don't have the facilities. You don't have the money to feed people. Why are you keeping them in hundreds at Kamwala? Why are you keeping them there? Send them back. Whatever procedures that you are talking about, look at those procedures, change them, and quickly decongest Kamwala prison. Vakapokola, stop taking people. Reconcile people. Reconcile people, advise people properly, so that we can decongest our prisons. I don't blame the prison service because, like I said, for them, they are like storekeepers. They just receive. And they can't refuse. But you are causing a problem for them. Making them look so bad. Making them look so bad. I mean, they are hopeless. They are helpless, really. There is nothing that they can do. But Vakapokola, immigration, you are causing a problem. Then, our chamber, but Dek, you have got also, you count, like I said, 30 to 40% including immigration. The other 40% is 50% or something. Niwa Kapokola. Then we have about 10%. Niwa Dek. Va Dek mwasango muntu alepe pechamba utuchambo to no whatever. Ni kao fella. You are throwing them muscles. And those people cannot even be bailed. But Dick, you also have a lot of people. You are also congesting our custodies with your useless arrests. I mean, many countries have moved away from arresting people for consuming ichamba. Many countries, including America. Tomorrow I'll post a video where Joe Biden is saying, no one is going to be arrested for consuming ichamba. Why can't we move away from that? Why can't we move away from that? Because it's not making sense. It's not making sense crowding up our prisons with the people to chamba. I mean, it's just not right. It's just not right. So Kamwala and Chimbokaila, they are worse than Sobibo. They are worse than anywhere where you can think of, custody in the world. Zambia must be topping. And our human rights activists must be topping among, I don't know which word I can use, among the most useless human rights. You don't exist, because if you exist, we cannot have Kamwala, we cannot have Chimbokaila, you cannot have Central Police, we cannot have Chilenje, we cannot have all these Kawata. You can't have them if you exist. If you are human rights, you do exist, we can't have that situation. We have that situation because you are useless. That's why we have that situation. And don't hate me for calling you useless. Don't hate me for calling you useless. Because really, if you are doing something, even just 10% of being relevant would help the situation. But because it's zero, that's why we have people sleeping, standing in Chimbokaila and Kamwala. That's why we have people eating worse than animals at a farm of President Hakainde Hichilema. We have people living worse. Those people, they would prefer to be at a farm of Hakainde Hichilema. They would live much better than what is happening there. Ingombe Shawa Hakainde Hichilema lives 10 times better than the way people are living in my custodies. Ingombe Shawa Hakainde Hichilema, they live 10 times better than the people that are in custody right now. And it is happening like this because Hakainde Hichilema himself doesn't care. He's sleeping on the job. And you, human rights, you are also, I don't know what you are doing. You are useless. I'm sorry to say, you are useless. Because if you are not useless, we will not have a situation. At Central Police, I found young people, minors living with the adults. Minors, 14 years, 15 years, living with adults. They are there. A person there, and you go there, you will call out minors. They are there. What are you doing, Imwe, who are charged with that responsibility? What are you doing? It is really, really bad. Anyway, I think I've made my point on Wakapokola, and I hope somebody will take heed and do something about that situation. We can't continue like this. We can't be keeping people worse than animals. It is unacceptable. So that makes me, I've spoken about the police. I've spoken about Kamwala. Yeah. Now, let me go to the big issue. I'm now going to talk about President Hakainde Hichilema. I'm going to talk about President Hakainde Hichilema. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about President Hakainde Hichilema. But President Hakainde Hichilema, a lot of you are like, no, you talk about the president, hey, you insult the president. I've already said, I don't insult our President Hakainde Hichilema. I don't. I respect him. But I point out his inefficiencies. I point out his bad leadership. I point out his dictatorship. And when I talk about these things, when I say something, when I attribute any characteristic on President Hakainde Hichilema, I always back it up. When I say President Hakainde Hichilema is a dictator, I back it up. It may not sound nice in your ears when you hear, I know some of you love President Hakainde Hichilema. I know you love him. And this might not sound nice. You want us to say nice things about him. He's a good man, he's a hard worker, and whatever. Well, that is your opinion. That is how you see him. I'm telling you how I see him. And you cannot tell me how I should talk about Hakainde Hichilema. No, you can't. Because some of you know, the way you talk. You can't dictate to me how I should talk about my president. You can't. You can't dictate to me how I should do my checks and balances. You can't. I will do it in the best way that I think it is effective. I'll do it in the best way that I think it is effective. And the words that I use, I want to use words that are effective. Oko tuafumati muntu ngole mwewe kumwewesha. Eko na afumaini. Efo tulanda oku muntu ngolefo kumwewesha. Pakwati aumfuikisha. You must tell the person. Don't expect me to come here and start smiling. Hi, you know, yeah, like what I saw in the police. Hi, it's bad. Yeah, no, that's not me. That's not me. Forget it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'll express it the way I feel it. And I'm an expressive person. I'll say it the way I see it. I'll say it the way I feel it. If I'm upset about it, I'll say it like that so that you know how I feel inside. So don't come here and tell me how I should start talking. You want me to start, Hakainde Hichilema, no. Tafueme. Things are not okay in this country. They are not okay. That is a fact, and there is no better way that I can say it. And I feel it in me. Passionately, I feel it. When I see people, it pains me. I get hungry when I see people. I must say it. So don't tell me to start kneeling. No. And by the fact that Hakainde Hichilema, when I talk about these things, and he decides to arrest me, that is dictatorship. Because a good leader, he would pick points from what I've said. Since I started talking, I've raised a number of issues. Which issues a good leader would pick up? Somebody was saying, no, why don't you work with this government? I'm working with this government. I'm telling you what is bad. And if you are good people, you would start acting on those things. Working with the government is not only going to bootlick them. Hakainde Hichilema is my father. Wamuntu, you are an MP. Hakainde Hichilema is my father. I'm not alone. You are an MP. You're supposed to offer checks and balances. If all of us are going to be bootlicking President Hakainde Hichilema, how is he going to work? I strongly believe that a number of issues that I've raised, some of them have been acted upon. And this is all I do. I talk so that things can be better. That's why I talk, nothing else. I talk so that things can be better. I don't come here to deliberately insult President Hakainde Hichilema. That's not why I come here. I don't do that. I come here so that things can be changed. Things can be better. And mostly not for me. I'm already out of Chimbokaila or Kamwala prison. I'm already out of it. But I am bemoaning for the people that are still there. I am bemoaning for the people that are suffering, the people that have gone to bed without food. I am bemoaning for the young people that have not eaten and now they start to have to walking around being petty thieves and tomorrow they are arrested. Things are bad in this country. Hakainde Hichilema, don't cheat yourself. I heard today Anton was talking per radio and ticking off what Hakainde Hichilema has done. I heard, no, Kwacha is the best performing in the world. Look at the lives of the Zambians. Listen to the lives of Zambians. Listen to their cry. You will see it. That is what I'm talking about. Hakainde Hichilema, I'm saying, he's a dictator because he doesn't listen. When you talk, he wants to arrest you. He wants to fix you. Hakainde Hichilema at the moment is so preoccupied with his people. Now they are preoccupied to put me in mujele. That's why they are even fabricating tuma cases tumotu. The real cases they have failed to take them to police, court. Now they are coming up, they are picking utuma cases. Kwati ni kuchimti cha mango. Bambike mu banshinga amala yambushi mu mukoshi. so that it can be easy for them to take me to jail. The cases that they were chasing me for all over, I was in South Africa, they were chasing me all over. They can't bring them before court because they are truth. They are truthful. And I don't deny having said what I said. If I've done something wrong, I'll say sorry. But see, whatever they are accusing me, that no, you called Hakainde Hichilema useless and liability. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I will repeat it even today. I will repeat it. I've even told the human rights that you are useless because you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job. People are being tortured. People are being detained. People are being looked after like Western animals. And you call yourself human rights. You are useless. If people are suffering in the country, like the way many people are suffering in the country, in terms of agriculture, in terms of food prices, in terms of jobs, if all these things are not happening, you are not doing, then how can I say this president is useful? He's not. He's not. He's not. And I will stand before any court. I will stand before any court and I will repeat it to say, yes, my president is useless. And is being a liability, because being a liability is when, you don't do what you're supposed to do. And yet you are drawing benefits. Hakainde Hichilema is drawing benefits. As far as I'm concerned, he's getting a salary. Whether he's not getting it or whatever, it is statutory. He's supposed to get paid. It is statutory that he moves in that Mercedes-Benz. And that Mercedes-Benz is fueled by taxpayers' money. But that taxpayers' money, they're flying around and everywhere. It is not benefiting Zambians as far as I'm concerned. And therefore, that is being a liability. That is being... I'm sorry, my brothers. Kuforce headquarters, some of you, no. Efo chili, ninshefo chili. The way I see things, that's the way I see them. And I will not cower down on what I believe in. Hakainde Hichilema is not leading this country the way many people expected. A lot of people are disappointed by the way President Hakainde Hichilema is leading this country. He can beat himself on his chest that he's doing good, but he's doing nothing to change the lives of Zambians, the majority Zambians, a few handful people who are benefiting out of President Hakainde Hichilema. You cannot say he's doing well. No. Even in the time of Hitler, there were a few people that were benefiting. But you cannot attribute those few to the general. No. Mwaikandida fyo kuirumba. But if mule irumbira tafire moneka. Muli insala. At no, Zambia is Kwacha is the best performing currency against the dollar. But look what is happening in the homes. Who has money? People are hacking each other. Leroto Chatamapa News. A young man killed the mother because of Wadi. A young man killed the mother because of Wadi. I went to Kuchiriro, and some people were telling me, Ukwimbe Manda now, people are going to a funeral, to wake, to do some work, for them to be paid in Shima. Ukwimbe Manda, to go and dig the grave, to go and dig the grave, because the council, like in Sulawesi, they just give you where you are going to bury. You have to get people to dig. And I was being told, these young men come, all they want is cooking shima for them, and they go and dig. After burying, they will help you to dig, to bury, and when you come back, all you do is give them shima. Is that the leadership that Hakainde Hichilema you are proud of? Where people are going to work for food at a funeral. They work for food at a funeral. For them to eat something. Is that the leadership that you can be proud of? Is that the leadership that you are saying, no, in America, they are telling me I should teach other African leaders how to lead? Are you serious? Are you serious, really? People are suffering. That's a fact. You are talking about jobs. Now you are advertising jobs. Is it Zafo Correction Service? And you are saying jobs. Are those jobs Hakainde Hichilema? In your thinking, are those jobs that you promised young people? Are those the jobs that young people woke up early in the morning to go and vote so that you can employ a handful in the correction service or military or whatever it is in government? Is that the way you create jobs? Hakainde Hichilema, you as an economist. As an economist, I'm not an economist, but surely, is that the way you create jobs? You are talking about, no, people now can draw from NAPSA and whatever. Yet we have so many pensioners who have not been paid. They have not been paid. Up to now we are talking, they have not been paid. So what are you celebrating to say, now, yes, you can draw 20%, whatever. When we have people that have worked for years, you have not paid them. You have not paid them. And you want me to come here and praise you, Hakainde Hichilema, for what? For what? For what? What am I going to praise you for, Hakainde Hichilema? Na imwebe ni mweba le support Hakainde Hichilema. What am I going to support him for? At yo walipata Hakainde Hichilema, pata. Me, I say things the way they are. Neli wa Edgar Lungu wali mu government. As much as I love Edgar Lungu, I used to criticize him. Vasata, I love that man. He's my inspiration and everything. I used to criticize him. Go and check. You will see how I used to criticize him. Arabi, go and see how much I used to criticize him. Me, I say things the way they are. It is not about a person. It is not about Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema. On a personal level, I only know him as a leader. And I say these things from that point of view. If Hakainde Hichilema was leading this country properly, I would praise him. But currently, the man is not serving his purpose. And is not entitled. The benefits that is receiving are not justified. Therefore, being a liability. And with this, what is happening? How can I say Hakainde Hichilema should continue? How can I say that? How can I say Hakainde Hichilema? If Hakainde Hichilema has failed, the only thing that I can call is for him to go. That's why I call Hakainde Hichilema, that Hakainde Hichilema should go. Because he has failed. As far as I'm concerned, this man is a total failure. Total failure. And that's why I say he should go. It is not out of hate, but out of seeing what he has done. And I'm saying, this man has failed. Umuntu onsenga afirwe nchitonga wafirwa. Kuya kulonga. Hakainde Hichilema na wafirwa. Bafide baya. Hakainde Hichilema cannot continue being a president with his inefficiency, with his failures, with the misery that is, subjecting the Zambian people to. He shouldn't continue. I don't know about you, but as far as I'm concerned, no. This man, I'm giving a vote of no confidence in this man. I'm giving a vote of no confidence in this man. You may not like it. You may like him. If you like him, that's fine. But for me, allow me to give him that vote of no confidence to say this man is a failure and he must go. And when I say that, I always insist, it's not any other way. It is through the provision of the Constitution. In the Constitution, there are provisions in which a president can leave office even before the general elections. It is not democratic to think that, no, when you elect a president, there are provisions. Kwa impeachment, kwa resignation, and demonstration, it is part of the Constitution. Demonstration, it's part of the Constitution, it's part of democracy. So if people want to demonstrate, it is part of the Constitution. And these things, this is what I talk about. I don't talk about anything outside the law. So why do police follow me? Chinshi munkonkela, chinshi mlemfoila, chinshi mlefoila njingile mu prisoni. Njingile mu prison so that Hakainde Hichilema bakonka nyepo. No kuteka kwa bulo kulondoloka. That's what you want. You don't want anyone to talk about Hakainde Hichilema's bad leadership. Hakainde Hichilema's dictatorship. You don't want to talk about it. You want me to go muchifungo so that Hakainde Hichilema will continue. Ndemyewe chishinka. You can jail me. But one day, people will get tired. And they will talk louder than I'm talking. Inendelanda pano. Beba teach so sachipa mano. When somebody is talking like this, and you pick something from what he's saying, you can actually preserve, something. They say, 2 stitches, save whatever, sungu. In a Findelanda, what I'm talking about here, if you can follow these things and act on them, I'm actually saving you. I'm actually saving you. Those people who are not talking, who are in the compound, one day they will talk. They will talk, and when they will talk, it will be too late. So, if you are responsible leaders, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to these points that I'm raising and work on them. That is what will keep you in power. It will not help you by start taking us in jail. It will not help you. It will not help you by start barring other opposition to participate in politics like what you are doing kuli Joe Malanji na Bowman Lusambo. It will not help. Hakainde Hichilema, he knows he's not doing well. And he wants to use ukangalume. He wants to use dictatorship. He wants to use force to rule this country by arresting us and by twisting the constitution to suit what he wants, to sustain his power. He wants to compromise our judiciary, to have his way on whatever he wants. He has usurped the powers of ECZ. ECZ now is in the hands of Hakainde Hichilema. He's using the investigative wings, Nabakapokola, to go after his opponents. These things are happening. Mweva praise singer, you can argue with me, and I can ask you, are you telling me what is happening to Joe Malanji and Bowman Lusambo? Are you telling me that is democracy? Are you telling me that is justice? Some of the rulings that have come to court, don't you see that the court is being compromised? Can't you see the way the media is attacking some of the judges that don't seem to rule in favor of Hakainde Hichilema? Irene Mungen is on the spotlight. Judge Irene Mungen, she is on the spotlight. She has become a subject of insults by the watchdog because she ruled against President Hakainde Hichilema. And these are the things that show dictatorship, whereby whoever does not agree with the Deus, one whom they have taken as a god, if you don't agree, it is abomination. And you must be stoned. You must be crushed. This is where we are living in. Anyone who do not agree with Hakainde Hichilema, he must be fought. He must be crushed. He must be insulted. He must be thrown muchifungo. This is dictatorship. This is dictatorship. What you are doing to the judges, to Irene Mungen, that is dictatorship. A minister going to sit mkoti, that is dictatorship. Putting pressure on the judiciary, that is dictatorship. Holding out a DPP in the manner Lillian's Uni was holded out, that is dictatorship. There are so many things that we can point to which shows these characteristics of dictatorship. Bowman Lusambo and Joe Malanji are being targeted. They are being removed because Hakainde Hichilema wants it. Nothing else. Because Hakainde Hichilema wants it. Hakainde Hichilema today, he has gone to the Copper Belt. He's campaigning right now as I'm talking. He's campaigning, but he's campaigning. That election has been stayed by the courts. That election has been stayed. And yet, Hakainde Hichilema has pushed ECZ to put elections on Friday. To put elections on Friday. Tomorrow, we have a ruling that is coming in the appeals court. And Friday, my elections. It is very clear. It is very clear that tomorrow, what will come out of tomorrow, I think you can guess. If President Hakainde Hichilema has left today, has gone to the Copper Belt, and tomorrow we have a ruling that is coming from the appeals court. And Friday, ZNBC is reporting elections which are coming on Friday. You can guess. Now, those of you who are reasonable, how can this be happening? How can this be happening? That election has been stayed. For those of you that may have been confused about the Bowman Lusambo issue, let me just briefly give you the rundown of things. We had a by-election as a result of the nullification of the two seats, Kwacha and Kamushi. Bowman Lusambo and Joe Malanji were refused to file in their nomination by ECZ because ECZ said, no, you caused the elections, the by-elections. Bowman Lusambo and Joe Malanji went to court, and the court ruled to say, it was wrong for ECZ to discriminate them, to remove them. It was wrong. This is what the Concord said. And when that happened, Bowman Lusambo went now to the High Court. To the High Court and said, look, we were unjustly treated. We were, removed. They couldn't take our nominations that we were not eligible. But the Concord has ruled that we are eligible. ECZ at that point should have actually cancelled those elections, but they didn't. Apart from that, we had people that withdrew, that resigned from that election. ECZ could not still call for elections as the Constitution stipulates. In between that is when we had that appeal, that application by Isaac Mwanza and Green Party, Peter Sinkamba. They went to court to say ECZ was supposed to call for fresh nominations because two people resigned. Because some of you are confused about this. But the Concord said no. The ECZ could not call for fresh nominations because the elections have been stayed. Have been stayed by what? They have been stayed by the appeals court. Because when government lost on the issue of eligibility, they wanted to appeal. But, they were not allowed. So they still went to the appeals court to say, no, we want to appeal. And as we are appealing, we want the elections to be stayed. Okay? We want that High Court ruling where Bowman and Malanji, they are saying that, look, we were wrongly disenfranchised. We were wrongly we were wrongly denied the opportunity to contest this election. Can you rule that that nomination is cancelled so that we can file in the nomination. That is still in court at the High Court. But the appeals court stayed that ruling, the judgment, it stayed it, and stayed the elections. That no, nothing will happen this side, and this judgment will not be given until we rule as to whether you can appeal or not. This is what is coming up tomorrow. But and the Concord, when Isaac Mwanza went to court and said they were supposed to cancel these nominations because this election, because two people withdrew. The Concord said no, they couldn't do that because there is a stay. There is a stay. But meanwhile, ECZ has set a date. Set a date on Friday that there will be elections. So can you see the compromising of the judiciary and the dictatorship of President Hakainde Hichilema? Because President Hakainde Hichilema clearly said that he doesn't want Joe Malanje and Boma Lusambo to contest. And this is what ECZ has been doing. Number one, they refuse to take their nomination. Number two, they are still in court fighting to say no, they shouldn't stand. And even when there is a stay, but they go ahead and set a date for elections without considering Joe Malanje and Boma Lusambo. I hope you have followed my arguments. I hope you have followed my explanation. There is a stay. Isaac Mwanza, Peter Sinkamba, they said, no, ECZ was supposed to call for fresh nominations because two people resigned. The court says, no, they couldn't because there is a stay. There is a stay on that election. There is nothing that can be done. Meanwhile, ECZ sets up a date for elections on Friday. And Hakainde Hichilema leaves today, goes to campaign. There is a stay. But ECZ, ignoring the stay, they set up a date for elections. And Hakainde Hichilema goes to campaign. Even if you love Hakainde Hichilema, can't you see that this is an abrogation of our constitution, of our courts, of our democracy? Can't you see it? Why is President Hakainde Hichilema insisting on Bowman and Joe Malanje not to contest? Why is he doing that? If Hakainde Hichilema is strong in the copper belt, is ruling this country properly, and is sure of winning an election, why is he barring them from contesting? And I say this, Hakainde Hichilema, why? Because it is Hakainde Hichilema who fired Patrick Nshindano, who was the executive director of ECZ. Yes, it was a mutual whatever, but I know there must have been pressure from within to have Patrick Nshindano out. It is Hakainde Hichilema who fired the chairman and the vice chairperson of the ECZ, Esa Ochulu and Emily Sikazo. It is Hakainde Hichilema. Right now, as we are talking, ECZ doesn't have a chairman. ECZ doesn't have an executive director. So who is ruling? Your guess is as good as mine. It is Hakainde Hichilema. And that's why he's not appointing people. How many months has it been since Nshindano left? How many months has it been? Why hasn't he appointed somebody there? Because as it is, Hakainde Hichilema can manipulate it. But this manipulation, is it something that you want me to come here and praise? Is it something that you want me to come here and accept? Is it something that you want me to come here and start clapping my hands? How Hakainde Hichilema? Is it what you want? This is not acceptable. This is wrong. This is wrong, and there's not any other way of putting it. This is dictatorship. This is very wrong. I don't care about Bowman may not be a friend. It could be anyone. This is wrong. There is no two way about it. It's wrong. And the president who bars his opponents, who guards his opponents, who ties his opponents, the hands that they don't participate, is a coward. is a failure. Because a president who is sure of what he's doing is not scared of anyone. He's not scared of anyone. When I'll be ruling this country, I will not be scared of people because I'll be delivering. I will know people are on my side. I will not manipulate the system to bar strong opponents. Hakainde Hichilema is scared of losing that election. That is why he is doing all this. And tomorrow there is a judgment that is coming. You can guess what will come out of it. Whatever will come out of it is nothing. ECZ, if ECZ they were following the law, today they should have issued that no, this election on Friday has stayed. It is just the other day when the Concord was saying no, ECZ could not do anything because that election is stayed. And by that judgment, they should have said no, the election cannot happen on Friday. And yet they are quiet. And the Hakainde Hichilema, right now we are talking, is campaigning. He's campaigning. Is that the leadership Imwewa praise singer? Is that the leadership that you want me to praise Ndemi Pusha? Is that the leadership that you want me to praise? This is bad leadership. This is dictatorship. This is an assault on our democracy. It's an assault on our democracy. Hakainde Hichilema is a mess. Hakainde Hichilema is not good for Zambia. It's not good. Because how good is he? How good is he when he can't respect the courts? When he's pushing only what he wants is what he wants things. This is how things should be. Only what he wants. Is that good for our country? Because this country belongs to all of us. This country belongs to all of us. It does not belong to Hakainde Hichilema alone. It belongs to all of us. So a leader who only looks at his own interest, only what he wants, is that a good leader for a country? In my view, in my humble view as Chilufya Tayali, no. No, such a leader is not, should not be entertained. Such a leader should not be accepted as far as I'm concerned. But Zambia is not alone, is not mine alone. If you are okay with him, fine. But those of you who are not happy, speak out. Stop fearing. This country belongs to you. Hakainde Hichilema let us, some of us, be willing to die for our country. If our forefathers who fought for independence, if they were preserving their lives, if they were so scared of their families and children, we wouldn't have had the independence that we have. Time has come for you now to also stand against these wrong things and tell Hakainde Hichilema to his face through social media. Now I'm on social media now. Tell him that what you are doing is wrong. Him being in the Copper Belt campaigning is wrong. Tell him it's wrong. There is a court order. Tell Hakainde Hichilema there is a court order. That election has been stalled. Tell him. The least that he can do, if I let him manipulate the judiciary to rule in his favor, at least, than blatantly overlooking the stay. Blatantly overlooking it. Usurping the powers of ECZ. That is not acceptable. Ina nachkana. Mukanchitafo mulefwa. Mukanjipaye, mukanjipane kuchifungo. But nachkana. Nachkana. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is dictatorship. It should not be tolerated. It should not be accepted. That election is stayed. ECZ, if they are really truly independent, if they are not being ruled by Hakainde Hichilema, they should issue a statement tomorrow and say that election cannot go on. If indeed they are not being ruled by Hakainde Hichilema, they are not being manipulated by Hakainde Hichilema, they should say it. It is there in the judgment. The stay is there, it's still in force. How are we going to have elections on Friday? let them say it. But I don't think they will. Hakainde Hichilema, him going there is revealing a lot. It is saying a lot. I think I've made my points. I've tackled a number of issues that I wanted to bring out. I've brought out a number of issues. I think I've made my point. The other issue is this targeting of other opposition leaders. A lot of people have been arrested in the name of fighting corruption. But really, is President Hakainde Hichilema fighting corruption? I'm trying to organize myself to have a press conference and talk about this at a press conference. For now, I think I'll leave it here. Thank you very much for those of you that followed me. I apologize for my voice and, my running nose. Please excuse me. But thank you very much for following me. Tomorrow, I will be talking about, some of these developing issues, particularly from Kawata, from Kabushi and whatever, what will be happening. Because really, it is unacceptable. Thank you very much and good night.